Welcome to Scary Nights. Tonight, we dive into one of America's most infamous haunted house stories, a terrifying tale that goes beyond ordinary ghost sightings. This is the true story of the Amityville Horror and the eerie events that took place at 112 Ocean Avenue. Imagine moving into your dream home, only to realize that it harbors dark secrets lurking in the shadows, waiting for you. In 1975, that nightmare became a reality for the Lutz family. Paranormal activity, eerie visions, and a powerful sense of evil quickly turned their lives upside down. But was this house really haunted by the spirits of the murdered DeFeo family, or was something even more sinister at work? Let's find out. It was December 1975, a cold winter in Amityville, New York. The Lutz family, George, his wife Kathy, and their 3 children, had just bought their new home at 112 Ocean Avenue. The house was a beautiful Dutch colonial, affordable and spacious, with stunning windows that almost looked like eyes peering into the neighborhood. To the Lutz family, it was a perfect chance for a fresh start and a new life. But what the Lutz didn't know, or chose to ignore, was that 112 Ocean Avenue had a dark, violent past. Only a year before, in 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. had brutally murdered his entire family while they slept. His parents, 2 brothers, and 2 sisters were all shot in the early hours of the morning. DeFeo claimed that voices had urged him to commit the killings, a chilling detail that some believed hinted at a malevolent force in the house. The Lutz, however, didn't let the house's history deter them. After all, it seemed perfect, until strange things began to happen. Within days of moving in, the family noticed odd occurrences that they couldn't explain. Cold spots appeared in random parts of the house, even though the heating was on. George, usually a calm, collected man, started feeling irritated and anxious, and every night he woke up at precisely 3:15 a.m. That's right, 3:15 a.m., the exact time that Ronald DeFeo Jr. had committed the murders in that same house. George found himself increasingly drawn to the basement, where he'd sit alone for hours, feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, but unable to leave. Kathy also felt strange, as if she were constantly being watched, especially in the children's bedrooms. Then, things took a turn for the worse. One day, as Kathy was cleaning, she noticed a strange greenish slime oozing from the walls. She tried to scrub it away, but it kept reappearing. Then, one night, she was alone in her room when she looked in the mirror and saw something truly horrifying. Her reflection had transformed into the face of an old woman, wrinkled, angry, and unfamiliar. Kathy was shaken to her core, unable to understand what she'd just seen. Their children, too, seemed affected. They grew quiet, withdrawn, and spoke of seeing shadow people in their rooms at night. The family dog barked endlessly at empty corners, refusing to enter certain areas. Whatever was in the house, it seemed intent on driving the family apart. As days turned into weeks, the haunting grew more disturbing. George began hearing voices, whispers that seemed to come from inside the walls. They called his name, growing louder each night, and one night he swore he heard someone say, "Get out." He started to believe the house was alive, that it wanted him gone. The children complained of hearing footsteps up and down the stairs at night, even though everyone was in bed. Then, things began to move on their own. A chair would be in a different place, cabinets would open by themselves, and objects would fall from shelves. Increasingly disturbed, George and Kathy decided to research the history of 112 Ocean Avenue. They learned that Ronald DeFeo Jr. had claimed to hear voices urging him to kill his family. He described feeling possessed by a force that took over his mind, compelling him to commit the gruesome act. The Lutz realized that the feelings they were experiencing, the anger, the dread, the strange behavior, it all seemed to echo the horror of the past. As they dug deeper, they found stories of other hauntings in the area and realized that Amityville itself was said to be built on Native American burial grounds, which some believe contributed to the dark energy in the town. Desperate for help, the Lutz called in paranormal investigators. These investigators reported feeling an oppressive energy upon entering the house. Some claimed to feel as though they were being pushed or watched. In the basement, one investigator described seeing glowing red eyes staring from the darkness. Another reported feeling cold spots and hearing whispers. One investigator claimed to capture audio evidence of a voice saying, "Leave now." Another reported seeing a shadowy figure resembling a young boy. The investigators couldn't explain the phenomena, but confirmed that the house seemed to have a dark, malevolent energy. It wasn't just the Lutz who felt it. Anyone who entered the house left shaken, fearful, and eager to escape. After 28 days of terror, the Lutz family could endure no more. The paranormal activity had taken its toll, mentally and physically. Fearing for their lives, they packed what they could and left the house in the middle of the night, abandoning their belongings and never looking back. They later claimed that the events in the house had deeply scarred them, affecting their mental health and relationships for years afterward. The story of 112 Ocean Avenue became a national sensation, sparking books, movies, and debates over the existence of paranormal phenomena. The Amityville Horror remains one of the most famous haunted house stories in America. Was it truly haunted, or was it all in the minds of those who lived there? To this day, the house at 112 Ocean Avenue remains a symbol of fear and fascination, with many claiming that something dark still lingers in those walls. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe to ScaryNights for more tales of terror. And if you have your own haunted story or know of a local legend, we'd love to hear it. Send us your story, and you could be featured in an upcoming video. Join us here on ScaryNights, where real horror lives on.